jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
Undefeated welterweight Jahi Tucker in the boxing. I'm with the one and only undefeated welterweight Jahi Tucker in the building. How you feeling, man?
I'm chilling, man. Good looking, man. I appreciate you.
It's always a pleasure. You know what it is, man. You are a welterweight sensation on the rise, right? And this particular weekend, you head in there for your 8th professional fight.
Yeah.
Now, talking about your last 2 fights, you fought some experienced dudes. You fought Akeem Black, Tracy Magruder, and now you're going in on your 3rd fight in 2022, man.
Yeah.
How you feeling as a fighter right now?
And as a fighter, man, I'm feeling good, man. I really feel like I'm developing, and thank you for Top Rank, thanks to Jay Prince. You know, they moving me well and really helping me hone my skills, getting closer to that championship.
How do you stay focused, man? You know, obviously you're on a track to possibly fight 5 or 6 times this year, but the one important thing, you keep on winning. How do you stay focused in the gym and continue to get better?
The goal, no matter how many fights I win, you know, the goal ain't complete until it's complete. My goal is to be world champion, one of the greatest fighters ever. So that's the thing that motivates me every day. And every fight, I know every time I go in there, show out and tighten up wherever I got to tighten up.
I know you was talking to me earlier, right, about your performance. You know, it wasn't a bad performance you were speaking on, but you were just speaking about the experience of going the distance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Putting in rounds. How important is that for boxers? Because sometimes you hear boxers talk about putting in rounds.
Putting those rounds is very important, you know, because you don't want to be in the a real important fight and don't have that experience to help you, you know. And of course, you can do it without the experience of having done a long amount of rounds, you know. But it's always great to have it because experience is the best teacher every time. And whatever you don't know beforehand, you definitely go learn afterwards. So you rather learn it earlier rather than later.
Right now, you know, you're 19 years old, young in the game, but yet, you know, your name is buzzing out there. They see you in a welterweight division because it's a lot of big names in the welterweight division. So you as a fighter, do you feel that pressure yet? Not just from, I'm not saying your opposition, but from the commentary. Have you felt that pressure yet?
The commentary, you know, they always have something to say. You feel me? A lot of times it's good, a lot of times it's bad. So they also when it comes to the commentary, I always say nobody else is in the ring, you know. And the main thing is I gotta deal with this guy and make sure I don't get hurt, you know. And whatever you do, make sure you don't get hurt and win the fight. Make sure you don't get hurt and you win the fight by any means necessary. You feel me?
Well, I can say that, Jahi, you seem to be able to hold it together. You know, since your debut, you fought on TV. And ever since then, like I tell you, you continue to improve each and every fight. Now you're stepping in there with DeAndre Smith, a fighter out of Decatur, Georgia. You know, what's a little something you know about him?
On DeAndre Smith, you know, 11-1 definitely means he knows what he's doing. You don't get 11-1 by not knowing what you're doing. 6 foot, nice and tall. I look at this as a nice opponent to get underneath my belt and make sure I beat him well, and I make sure I don't overlook him. Because, like I said, 11-1, you don't do that by not doing anything. So just making sure I go in there and handle business.
Yeah, this is a fight, you know, that everybody's talking about, you know, especially, you know, down there in Georgia, because DeAndre, like you said, he has experience. He just came off a win. He had a unanimous decision win. And your last fight, you coming off a UD win. So heading into this fight right here, what is something that you feel that as a fighter you have to show up with?
If you want to eat healthy and feel your best, you've got to try Kachava. Kachava is the world.
This particular fight.
With this fight, man, I gotta just pull up. Any fight, I feel like once I'm in there, I'm gonna make sure I win. Because the fighter that you seen yesterday is the same fighter you see today, being your opponent. I could see him on camera from his last fight, and he could be a completely much improved fighter than this fight now. So I just gotta go in there and make sure that whatever he tries to do, I just shut him out and make sure I go in there and participate in.
Though you're 19, you experienced 19-year-old. You know what I'm saying? So I saw the pictures out there. Look like you put on some muscle mass. What's going on with Jahi Tucker? What's the training regime looking like, man?
Right now, we've just been getting a lot smarter. Growing up and definitely developing into the pro ranks. Earlier in my career, we used to hit it hard. We still hit it hard now, but we used to really do video game type stuff. I'm talking about anywhere from 10 to 20 mile runs, 40 rounds on the pads, 20 rounds on the bag, 2,000 sit-ups, 4,000 sit-ups, 2,000 push-ups, 2,000 squats, and this is all in one day, I'm telling you feel me? A boosted regimen on the workout, on the weightlifting. And this is all in one day. I used to do that every single day, 2 days on rest, hours swings. And it all just helps develop that mindset that I have now and help me really hone my skills. And now that we're in the pro ranks, we climbing up there slowly but surely, it's now about being smarter and doing what's best for my body and making sure you stay in shape, making sure when it's fight time, you're at your peak.
And that's what I mean, man. Just like you just said, looking out for your body, training smarter, and then, going in there and performing and keep on winning. Do you find yourself in such a short period of time with that maturity, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, Top Rank looking at you, of course, they keep giving you the fight, but do you find out you are absolutely mature in each and every fight?
Every trip, like I said, experience is the best teacher, and as much as I'm not the best fighter in the world, there's nothing. I'm 17, 18, 19, I'm not going to one thing, and I know I'm not going to one thing. So I just be very eager a lot of times to get in the ring and just go in there and get that love from the fans. Give them a good show, get that experience first and foremost, and get that win. The biggest win.
Speaking about, getting the win, you're attached to a division that's getting a lot of airplay right now. The reason why they get a lot of airplay, you have Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, two of the best right now. And we don't know if that fight is going to happen this year, but for you, Jahi Tucker, you have an opportunity to face a top 15 out of the welterweight. Do you have just two names that you want to face?
I just said that, Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, you feel me? I told you guys I feel like I'm the best fighter in the world, and I'm not saying that I'm confident. I say that with me, understanding the amount of work that I put in, understanding my versatility, and that I can adapt to any situation, and all those guys in the top 15, all the upcoming guys, I honestly can't wait to see every last one.
There you have it. When you mentioned Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, and you being your age, how do you convince those people you're ready? I heard you say it long before now. You already mentioned that you want, you feel that they throw you a bone. You ready for that bone? So for the naysayers out there and saying, why he's sitting up there calling out Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, what do you have to say to them in response?
Well, history always repeats itself. You go back to the 60s. Ali was calling out soliciting. And everybody was just like, I heard everybody saying, Sonny Liston knocked out my 3 rounds. And, Ali was young, 20, 21, 22. So when I got to that, and also I understand the amount of work that I put in. Once I see that, I know there's nothing for me to say. The work comes for itself. Look at Teofimo. Teofimo was 23 when we fought Loma. I was one of the people who thought Teo was going to lose. Came out there, you told me nothing, It's all about what you skills they build. I got a lot of skills.
That's a good point, man. Teo was, his father, pretty much prognosticated that his son would be champion in 15 fights, which he was. And then in 16 fights, he stepped in there with Steel Lomachenko and picked up the unified. So I get what direction you're headed in. I'm just curious to know when, when I was speaking to your dad, I was curious to know what fight they're gonna decide to say, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You know, I hear him on the video talking about he ready.
Yeah.
What fight is it gonna be? Because this your
Yeah.
I said I'm thinking around 10 or 11.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? They definitely gonna give you somebody that people start saying, okay.
I'm thinking the same thing, you know. And like I said, it's all about staying close, staying calm, and staying ready. And don't get burned out. A lot of fighters get burned out. You feel me? They'll get to this point where I'm at my career right now, and like they'll start galloping and start taking off, and they're like, wait, hold on, I'm not ready for all this. And by then it's too late. You already stepped from the lines then. So it's all about just staying composed and just understanding the moment and taking that moment in fully and grasping it and running away with the show.
Understanding the moment and processing it.
Yeah.
Totally get it.
Word.
You know, you was a part of some history once again today. You had the opportunity at 19 years old. Man, I was in the service. I was just grinding out as a lower tier enlisted at 19 years old. Talk about, you know, you traveling around with the media, ESPN, you know, for Top Rank and getting that coverage. What were you able to take them?
I was able to take them to where I stay, you know, my hometown. I have a lot of different hometowns, but this is one of them, you know. Took them to Deer Park. I took them to Left Hook J, shout out Native Boxing Club. I took them to Brentwood Recreation Center. That's why I was headquarters for my training camps for like the last 4 or 5 years now, ever since I was an amateur. And it really just took them around the island and let them really understand that it's a real community over there. And the community is really one of the biggest reasons why I go so hard, you know, because like you said, I'm 19 and it's a lot of kids that I see in the gym that I remember I was those kids aged 7, 8, 9, 10 in the gym, not really understanding or really grasping where I'd be in 10 years. You know, it's still hard for me to believe sometimes, but
check out the arms. My arms look way bigger than they actually are. I'm 6'2", 190 pounds.
I just got to take them to the rec and they got to see all the kids training and putting in their work. And they really got to see a feel of what it's like to be in that predicament, you know?
Did they tell you when that would be, you know, aired so they can check it out? Do you know?
No, they said it will be, they're putting everything together. They're going to have the episode out sometime this week for a fact.
Okay, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
It's no secret. You know, your father's your trainer.
Yeah.
You know, what has he been able to implement to change the game? Because he's a very knowledgeable individual. You know what I'm saying? The way he communicate about you training as a boxer, it seems like you and him is in tune. Mm-hmm. And then when I see you split the ropes, I'm sitting there on the edge of my seat. I say, okay, let me see what they have new now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? What's been some conversations, you know, coming off your last fight and into this fight that you and your father's talked about?
My father, you know, hey, one thing, we have trust in each other. He trusts what I know I'm gonna do when I get in the ring, and I trust that he know what he gonna do, getting me ready for the fight, you know. And the main thing that we always talk about ever since the last fight is being smart and just understand, you know, just not just being smart in the fight, because in the fight it's a fight. You gotta be instinctive, you gotta be smart, but more so even the getting ready for the training camps and how we go about things, doing things more professionally, you know, and just working on our communication every day, you know, because like it says, father, son, you know, and that goes wrong a lot of times with a lot of other fighters. So I'm thankful that my pops and me have a good relationship and that continues to build.
That's awesome, man. And, you know, one thing he told me, he said, y'all train like y'all going in there to fight a champion each and every time. That's the mindset that y'all training for.
Yeah.
Do you think, you know, fighters this day and time, I know you can't speak for fighters, but do you think that bleeds over in the mind of a lot of fighters across the board, or you just have to be cut from that cloth?
It's a lot of guys, you know. There's definitely a lot of guys who out there who are cut from that cloth. But like you said, man, it's not a lot of fighters who are, especially a lot of the big fighters. They're not like that. They just in it for the business aspect, which is cool too. For Mayweather, he opened up a whole different portal. He was cut from that cloth, understanding, I want to be great. The money just came with it. And a lot of people seen the money side and was like, yo, I like the money. So I can't get mad at them for that. But me, what makes me different is like, I understand the game and the amount of respect that I have for the sport and all the people who came before me, you feel me? Talking about from like back in the 1900s, all the way up to now, all these guys, you know, and the amount of work that it really took for all these guys to do it. And to even be able to say that I'm able to even be in the same position that some of these guys was in. at this young of an age that a lot of them were not at this young of an age, and it's crazy to even say. So I remain humble at every given moment. And like we said, we train for a championship. Testament to what I said before, like the goal ain't complete till it's complete.
Well said. Well said. I like that. Let me ask you about a historic fight that just took place in the 135-pound division. Pretty much everybody that follows social media understand, what transpired leading up to that point. And, Devin Haney, George Kambosos took place in Australia. Mm-hmm. You watching that fight, the fundamentals were shown with Devin Haney.
Yeah. He
was implementing the jab, very punctual and authoritative during that fight. What was your assessment?
The same thing, he was just he's very talented. And that jab, he's very high ring IQ. And it goes to show you don't got to knock everybody out, A lot of fighters and a lot of fans, not even the fighters, a lot of fans get the misconception of, if you don't knock the guy out, you did all right, but you didn't really do that good. But they don't understand this, that boxing is a true art form, All fighting is true art form. That's why they call it mixed martial arts. It's art. And what Devin Haney put on was a display, and it's a historic display because he's one of the first lightweight undisputed champion since I think they said Pernell Whitaker. That's huge. Pernell Whitaker is an all-time great. So to even be mentioned up there, bro, it's just great to hear. So
in the 4-belt era, He's the first in the 4-belt era, and then he has everything, the ring, the lineal, all that.
Yeah.
So would you want, as a fighter, would you want to see him go in there and rematch Kambosos, or would you like to see him fight somebody else in the lightweight division?
I mean, one thing I like about Kambosos is that he got the heart, and he said himself he wants to go back in there. In all logicalness, though, I think the result will be the same. Of course, Kambosos says, we're fighters. We're going to want to get back in there. We're going to want to go crack it again. So if they make that deal happen, but as a fan perspective, I don't think that fight should happen again. I think Tank should go and fight, not Tank. I think Haney should go and fight Tank right now. Or even when Lomachenko comes back, he's over there doing his thing in Ukraine, versus Ukraine. But when he goes over there and he comes back over here, I think that's a fight that definitely could happen. But really and truly, the biggest fight right now is Haney and Tank.
Yeah, Haney and Tank, man. A lot of people was calling for that.
Yeah.
Even though your promoter, pretty much said he would like to make Lomachenko and Devin Haney, Vasyl Lomachenko and Devin Haney. Mm-hmm. But either way, they're campaigning in the same division.
Yeah.
And, Gervonta's out there, Devin Haney and Vasyl Lomachenko. So either way, all three fighters have big names. And then you have, Ryan Garcia lingering out there for whatever he's trying to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Last question, man. When it comes down to a fight that you might want to see coming up, no matter the division, who would those two individuals be?
That's not a rematch?
Meet Joe. Joe found a house for sale that he loves so much, he drives to it.
It doesn't matter.
I'm really looking forward to this fight on my card. On I don't really stay for the after fights and stuff, but this fight I'm gonna stay. Joe Smith, better be. I feel like the narrative behind this fight is much bigger than just undisputed. You feel me? You got Joe Smith, the hardworking American, the regular guy who's just an undoubtable character at heart. You feel me? Versus this Russian monster. It's like the Rocky movie. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And I feel like this fight is really going to be one of the greatest light heavyweight fights ever. Because both of these guys is real strong. Both of these guys got big hearts, and they both come in the fight, and they both representing where they from, and they trying to protect their belt. So it's going to be a good one.
It is, man. Yeah. I agree. The common man, Joe Smith proved, man, he's that guy.
Yeah.
A lot of people get behind him because he does go in there and fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? His work ethic and everything. And then you talk about Beterbiev, the way he broke down Marcus Brown.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a beast, man. He shows it each and every time. So, yeah, I look forward to the main event. It's for, Beterbiev, he's the WBC and the IBF champion, and then Joe Smith, the WBO. So it's gonna be awesome. Yeah. Do you think the winner of that fight are they gonna unify at light heavyweight? With Dimitri Bivol?
All right. See, that's where it gets tricky now, because remember, Bivol just fought Canelo. Okay.
Correct.
Now, apparently, Canelo and his camp said we're gonna fight Triple G first, and then we're gonna rematch with Bivol. So now it would all be, and Bivol just fought, so he has a whole year now to hold the belt, But now with Canelo, it all depends on how much Bivol really wants that Canelo fight. because we could see this. Canelo could fight Triple G, beat Triple G, okay. Fight Bivol, say he beats Bivol. You know? Now it's a whole different thing. Or Bivol could just say, all right, Canelo, put you on pause, fight one of these guys, and lose his belt. And then now we got a whole different conversation, you know?
So you know if Canelo fight Bivol again, it's going to be for the WBA title. So being that we about to see the unified this week,
Yeah.
do you even think out of those two guys, Canelo will fare any different than he did with a bigger Bivol if he was to fight either Beterbiev or Smith?
Well, to be honest, no. At all, no. I feel like because the issue with Canelo and these bigger guys is his fighting styles. You know, usually Canelo's the bigger guy, stronger guy. So a lot of these guys like Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders, you know, he's hitting them on their arms, on their shoulders. You know, he's landing these big, nice body shots, and it's affecting them more. But these bigger guys, it's not really affecting them as much. You know, you're lighter than me, you're smaller than me, so I'm gonna take those. You've seen Bivol; he caught a lot of the shots where you've seen I forgot who it was. I think it was Liam Smith or somebody. Caleb Smith. His arms swole up.
Had a knot on it.
Yeah. Bivol took that and came back with like 4, 5, 6 shots. So I feel like Canelo's best bet is to just stay at 68. But you never know, man. You got dudes who are out here chasing greatness. And I never doubt a man who's really chasing greatness because he'll go by any lengths necessary to accomplish his mission.
Jahi Tucker goes down in Hulu Theater. You know what I'm saying? Your A professional fight. Yeah. For those of you who's tuned in, you heard it first from the one and only. Follow him on IG, who is Jahi Tucker. Man, he's a rising sensation in the welterweight division. Pay attention. Any words to your fans out there, Jahi?
Shout out World Combat Sports, you know. Shout out everybody back home. Shout out my mom. Shout out my family. Shout out Jay Pritch. Shout out Top Rank Boxing. You know, I got a big show for y'all June 18th. Massacre Garden, like he said, ESPN Plus. Make sure y'all tune in. Y'all don't want to miss it.
There it is. Y'all be tuned. Top Rank, you know what I'm saying? Jahi Tucker's on deck this weekend. It's always a pleasure, that champ. Likewise. Appreciate you allowing me to interview you once again.
Likewise. Love you.
Best wishes out there.
Father's Day weekend, then right here in the ring.
Going through this boxing journey with my father, my corner, definitely made this a very unique and exciting experience. Of course, a lot of people don't have fathers in their lives, you know, and I'm just thankful that my dad is able to push me and put me in positions like this. So, really grateful. To have my father in my corner for Father's Day weekend also means the world to me, you know. Just a testament to all the hard work we did. It's just a perfect celebration.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome inside the Hulu Theater at the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. This is boxing. This is Top Rank. Presented by Hall of Fame boxing promoter Mr. Bob Arum and Joe DeGuardia, Star Boxing. Brought to you by Boost Mobile, Money is Power, and by Caesars Sportsbook. You bet, you get. This bout scheduled for 6 rounds in the welterweight division. Our judges at ringside: Tom Carasoni, Robert Perez, and Robin Taylor. And the man in charge at the sound of the bell, Mr. Sean Clark. Introducing first, out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 147.6 pounds, wearing red trunks with white trim. He brings a record of 11 victories with only 1 defeat into the ring. 5 of those victories coming by way of knockout. From Atlanta, Georgia, DeAndre Smith. Introducing out of the red corner, presented in association with Antonio Leonard Promotions. He weighed in at 147.8 pounds, wearing red trunks with white trim. He brings a perfect record into the ring. 7 victories, no defeats. 4 of those victories coming by way of knockout. From Deer Park, New York, Jahi Tucker.
All right, fellas, y'all had y'all instructions in the dressing room. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch them up. All right, second down.
There is Jahi Tucker with his father, McCunnan. And Dre, he's got all the talent in the world, yet it's those bad habits that he has, dropping his hands and those situations that he puts himself in that cause a little bit of tension between father and son.
Well, it should cause tension because that's the father's job, is to be, yes, a father first, but then a good coach. And he doesn't want his son to get hurt, knocked out, or derailed along the way. But it's also very early for Jahi Tucker, very, very early in his pro career. He's still learning. He's still figuring things out. And I think sometimes we forget that. We see the young fighters that have potential, that have pedigree, and we want it overnight. It's going to take some time.
Talk about that pedigree. He was a top-ranked amateur at 138 pounds here in the United States. And he didn't have an extensive amateur career, just 36 amateur bouts, 130 of them. The 2020 Boxingology Box Off gold medalist, 2019 International Bornazima Tournament gold medal, 2018 Junior Open gold. So he made the most of his time as an amateur.
Yes, but as you mentioned, very, very limited. And he didn't get those top amateur tournaments, and he doesn't have that kind of polish, so he's going to have to get his polishing and learn a skill set along the way. It's going to be some rough spots, but hopefully he gets there.
Yeah, Smith trying to make Tucker eat that left hand early on, and their feet get tangled up there.
Big opportunity for DeAndre Tucker, who doesn't have the name, but he's fighting a name, and you can get the name by beating a name. So he's got a lot of work cut out for him tonight, and if he can get the job done, he's going to be on his way.
It's an Andre Ward name game.
Come on.
Tucker lands a short left hand, but Smith is right there coming back with something of his own. Tucker trying to set up Smith with that throwaway jab.
And I think Tucker, because he didn't have that extensive amateur background, he's going to always be a little awkward and crude, but he just wants to perfect that style, and he can still go a long way with that.
Left uppercut for DeAndre Smith finds a home.
It's hard fighting awkward guys like Tucker who are skillful, but that they do things in an unorthodox manner. It can take him a long way.
Saw that.
He looks more settled tonight and not so eager to, impress. And I think that's part of the issue, is just being on television, being on the stage, being on ESPN. He wants to impress sometimes too much. Stay within yourself, stick to the game plan, and listen to your father.
And talk about being awkward and getting places and going far as a senior Byfield, who we saw earlier today. Dante's, they're different type fighters that you really can't train for. Stubbs got knocked out though, and Byfield got beat. But nonetheless, it's that awkward style that can do things for you. Round one is in the books here at the Hulu Theater, Madison Square Garden, with a nice flurry from Jahi Tucker.
To be the mascot tonight.
Whatever it is, man, it's worth it.
Hold fast. Back it up.
It was a big show when he beat William Encarnacion earlier this year at Turning Stone Resort and Casino. I'm sure he's going to get a great ovation here at the Hulu Theater at MSG. Inside the ring, it's Jahi Tucker and DeAndre Smith after a very respectful first round, trying to feel each other out, see the power and the skill of one another. And Smith comes out a little bit more defensive here in round number two.
Well, he's trying to read Jahi Tucker, that awkwardness we talked about. That's what he's trying to figure out. He's trying to compute where he can punch, where his range is, and Tucker's taking that away because of the awkwardness. But that first round, Tucker was awkward under control, and that's what you want for Tucker. And he was a lot more under control than we've seen in his last couple fights. He's looking good in this second round, too.
And he's under control of that counter right hand. Now it's a lead right hand from Jahi Tucker. And then he goes downstairs trying to land a combination. But Tucker finding a rhythm here.
Now Smith has to decide how much he really wants to be in that ring right now.
And it doesn't seem like it's long because he's looking to hold on as he gets hurt by Jahi Tucker. And this is where we've seen Jahi Tucker play with his food, we've said before. This is the moment he needs to focus on.
Right, he's doing that now. I don't see him playing with his food at the moment.
Nice 1-2 combination as Tucker puts his punches together. Now he digs to the body, trying to break down Smith.
Good punch selection right there from the young Tucker.
That right hand puts Smith up against the ropes. And Tucker looking to finish here with a big flurry and make referee Sean Clark do his job and stop the fight if Smith does not go down.
One good shot gets in there, this fight's over. One good one, it's over. And it better get through because Tucker's giving up a lot of energy right now.
And he's punched out.
Smith out of there. He better try to get one through.
Oh, man. And now let's see what Smith, he has a minute, like 50 seconds left here in round number 2. And Tucker may be punched out.
This is called growing pains right here. This is growing pains. He's learning on the job. He'll learn not to do that next time, but let's see how he handles it right now.
Sometimes when an opponent can take all your headshots, it's about going to the body, and you talk about learning on the job, and you're going to learn the easy way, you're going to learn the hard way.
DeAndre Smith better take advantage of this.
I'm not sure how recovered DeAndre Smith is himself, but he's coming forward, not throwing anything though. And there's another right hand from Tucker that gets in.
That hurt. Oh, good shot right there from Tucker.
Let's listen in to McConnell Tucker, who is just as he goes back to his corner.
And listen, whenever you get him on the rope, step to the side on him. Step to the side on him. And look for 2 good shots. I don't need that shit. You understand? You don't need 850 shots. I just need 2 or 3 good shots. All right? Step to the side on him and make it count. All right? That's how you get him out of there. All right? Deep breath. You look good. Look at those. Where's your water? Coach, you got water? Yeah, I need water. No, are you sure? All right. Hey, wash your mouth out then. All right? Good job. Good job, champ. Good job. When you're taking a break, let the one go, okay? Right. Hey, good job. But step to the side. Don't stay in front of him. And when you're done, keep that jab on him. It's too fucking good not to use it.
Trade some very good instructions in terms of he doesn't need all those shots. I need 1 or 2 good shots, which is exactly what you were calling for.
That's exactly what he needs to understand, and he'll get that. But he made the mistake of using volume and just trying to will the referee to stop the fight instead of getting the right shots through, taking a deep breath, trying again, taking another deep breath, trying again. But he'll learn. He's got to go through it to get to it, and that's a lesson he's going to have to learn.
Let's see what that 1-minute rest period did for DeAndre Smith's recuperative powers. His only loss was in the bubble, September 2020 against Benjamin Whitaker, a 6-round unanimous decision. Since then, it's 3 wins. The most impressive one, his last fight against 47-fight veteran Dallas Prescott. As now Tucker goes to the body.
DeAndre Smith is a good fighter. He's landing some good shots, but he's got to throw. He's got to believe that he belongs here tonight, or he's going to continue to take a whooping until this fight is stopped. You've gotten here, so why don't you fight your way through? Don't just take punishment and accept what Jahi Tucker is offering.
Tucker's offering a left hook and trying to set up that right hand. There's a right to the body for Tucker.
Appreciate Tucker going to the body this whole fight. Very, very impressive from him. I see a big improvement mentally and with his fight game.
It's all about a growth process, and there defensively, his right hand was where it was supposed to be. We've seen Tucker drop his hands, be defensively careless, and a lot of those flaws have been fixed at least early in these first 3 rounds, Dre, and here he goes on the offense once again. Oh, what a nice right uppercut from Jahi Tucker, and he's got Smith in trouble, but Smith ties him up.
Now Tucker gets a second chance to try to finish the right way. Let's watch him. It's not always about quantity, it's about quality. When you have an 8-ounce glove or a 10-ounce glove on, you get the right shot through, the fight is over.
Great timing from Jahi Tucker here in the 3rd round. Not getting ahead of himself, trying to work his way into position. Smith trying to land the left hand as he is now in the southpaw stance. But here comes Jahi Tucker. I think he found the key to hurt Smith, and that's a right uppercut, and he's trying to find the angle for it once again.
And that's also what his father and coach asked for. He said, change the angle. Smith is a veteran. He can stand there if he knows where you're at, but if he loses sight of you, you can get a shot through that he doesn't see. That's also the beauty of being 19 years old. If you're Jahi Tucker, you can punch yourself out and get everything back in less than 60 seconds.
Said like a real veteran. All right, good finish to round number 3. We're halfway through this fight. Punching power to win tonight.
Man, Better Biev is walking through the corridors of MSG like he owns the place. He looks like he came and he means business tonight. And I think we're going to see a little bit of everything from that man. I think we're going to see the craftiness that he doesn't get credit for to get the big shots through. Toughness, which is going to take to beat a Joe Smith Jr. Both fighters are going to have to display a lot if they're going to get their hand raised tonight.
I mean, both fighters finish fights early. Better Biev, 12 of his 17 fights ended in 6 rounds or less. For Joe Smith Jr., 17 of his 22 knockouts inside of 3 rounds. But also they carry their power late because Better Biev, his last 3 knockouts came in rounds 9, 10, and 10. He also has a knockout in the 12th and final round. And for Joe Smith, his last 3 victories, a knockout in the 9th round, a 12-round unanimous decision to win the title against Vlasov, where he had to dig deep down the stretch in the championship rounds, and then the 9th round knockout he had in his last outing. So no one is safe at any moment.
We say all that to say, call your friends, call your family members, get in front of the television. You don't want to miss this fight.
It's like when you're going on a road trip, Dre, with all the kids. Go to the bathroom now because we're not stopping.
Right. That's a fact. Jahi starting to showboat just a little bit, which I don't have a problem with. Just make sure that you're in control of this fight, which he is, and don't let the showboating take you away from your business.
Tucker throwing some looping shots now. Not so much setting him up, but he's finding a home for them on the body and the head of DeAndre Smith. Smith definitely slowed down after that second round where he was hurt.
Well, I think after the first round, he realized that he didn't want to try to win anymore. He just wanted to try to survive. And that's what you see. You see a guy who's been in the ring long enough to know that if I finish on my feet, that's a moral victory. Jahi Tucker's got to try to take away that moral victory right now.
It's the left hand from Tucker that's doing damage here in the 4th round. There you see now it's the right hand that was set up by all that left hand success.
Hands are free, fellas.
Tucker wants to go downstairs to the body and to come right back upstairs. He's had the most success when he mixes in the body attack with the head shots.
And that right uppercut for Jahi Tucker. As now Smith is reminded that those body shots do hurt. Let me throw one at you. Short left from Jahi Tucker. Referee Sean Clark is looking at DeAndre Smith. He said, come on now. In other words, show me something, and there it is. You don't show something, and the referee's going to have to step in and do what he has to do and stop the fight here in the 4th round.
That's the best I've seen Jahi Tucker look. He looked very poised tonight. He looked like he leaped 2-3 years ahead of his development. I'm not sure what his pops have been talking to him about. I'm not sure what they've been working on, but I like it. I like what I saw tonight.
227 TKO.
Jahi Tucker improves to 8-0. 5 of those victories coming by way of knockout. A lot of the people made their way down from Deer Park, New York into Manhattan, and what a great Father's Day gift for McCunnon Tucker to get a knockout victory here at the Hulu Theater for Jahi Tucker against a very tough DeAndre Smith, who we got to give him credit for just fighting through that 2nd round. Despite being discouraged, Dre, he was in this fight, just didn't have enough firepower to keep Jahi Tucker off of him.
he's definitely tough, but sometimes being tough is not enough. You want to try to win the fight, and he didn't try to win after a certain point. But Jahi Tucker just finished his fight by just being steady. He made the mistake early by throwing too many punches and punches himself out. He learned from that quickly. He computed what his father said. He knew he had DeAndre Smith reeling, and he just put the right shots through. Just those don't seem like heavy shots, but that's about the 100th shot that DeAndre Smith took. And when you see the head start to snap back, a good referee will notice that, and he'll get in there and stop the fight before things get ugly. Good performance, good maturity from Jahi Tucker, and he did what he had to do. Now it's time to go celebrate.
And I think Sean Clark, the referee, gave DeAndre Smith every opportunity to stay in the fight. But once that head started to snap back, once those shots from Jahi Tucker started to land clean, he knew it was time to step in. And let's get the official time with Mark Chinook.
Ladies and gentlemen, here inside the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden, referee Sean Clark calls a stop to this bout at 2 minutes, 27 seconds of round number 4. For your winner by technical knockout, Jahi Tucker!
8th fight in just 21 months as a pro for Jahi Tucker. And when you're active, you improve. And that's what we're seeing in Jahi Tucker, who was a top-ranked amateur at 138 pounds, now fighting in the welterweight division. Tonight, it's all about
What's good, everyone? Salute. Hey, that was Jahi Tucker, bro. He's 8-0 right now. And to be honest with you, he's one of the welterweight fighters that's under the going on the radar right now. He stepped in there with a tough DeAndre Smith. Shout out to DeAndre Smith. Man, he came in the box. He just didn't get it done. But he's not done with the sport. He'll be back. Jahi Tucker, on the other hand, he's not flying under the radar. He's on the radar. It's just about people, getting to a point where they say, okay, it's time to put him in there with the top 15, top 10 opposition, in which he's already stated adamantly in his interviews that he's ready for a bone. It don't matter how much meat it has on it.
he's ready for them to throw him a bone. So, just be patient. Fight fans, it's going to get very interesting. He has another fight coming up for his 9th professional fight. It's going to be in Brick City. Shakur Stevenson, man, going in there, Hobson Conseo. If you never have been around a Shakur Stevenson home card, and they really turn up. They really turn up for Shakur, for real. They really turn up, and you saw how many kids. He's always in community. It's not talked about enough. The Boylan Street Recreation. Man, I was down there last time. The mayor came out. Man, it was nice to see them kids flourishing like that over in Newark, coming out to support the Olympian. You know what I'm saying? Now, 2-division, 3-time world champion, Shakur Stevenson. And also, like I said, Jahi Tucker's on the card. You have Keyshawn Davis, Shushu Carradine, Floyd Diaz. Hey, man, it's going to be a hot one. It's going to be a hot one, real talk. This card is going to be very nice. But I'm going to start more and more putting fights like this out, doing a live stream, so you can kind of get an idea about the boxer, pick up some more support for the fighter, check out some interviews that's done by the content creator, the host. I started to give you the a couple of previous interviews with Jahi. It's a little late, so I just gave you the more recent one that I did with him when we was up there at his last fight before he stepped in there with DeAndre Smith. Teach on deck. What's good with it, bro? But yeah, good times. May y'all continue to hold it down. Till next time. Tune in to World Combat Sports. Salute. I'm out.